Hey guys, it's Joe. Happy Thursday. Did I get the date right? Oh my God, this week has been crazy. I cannot believe we're already at Thursday. It's time for a Puck It with Joe over here, Sports Grid. Now we're doing this through. So everyone tuning in, make sure you go give Sports Grid TV a follow on all social media platforms. I'm glad to be back to you guys. I know it's been a kind of weird week without having a Puck It with Joe every single week, but I'm excited to be back up and running. You guys, we got lots to talk about today. We have, oh man, Florida is in absolute trouble. I am struggling with this game so freaking bad. You guys know how much of an underdog Florida has been, how they've been able to get past so many elite teams and absolutely hitting a brick wall when it comes to getting those goals on Adin Hill and getting past the Vegas Golden Knights. Vegas just absolutely dominating, especially in the last game. 7-2 final for the Vegas Golden Knights. Now, Florida not playing discipline. They're coming out, they're playing so heavy on getting those hits in, and Matthew Tkachuk not keeping his head on his shoulders. I am struggling with what I am seeing out of this team. They are absolutely playing poorly out there, and they need to get things back under wrap. Now, a lot of people have always said their defense just isn't there. It's Bobrovsky. And yes, that is very true. Their defense isn't at the level of the Vegas Golden Knights' defense. Bobrovsky is absolutely who has been the pivotal key for the Florida Panthers to be here. Now, Bobrovsky needs to get back standing on his head. We know he was pulled in that last game after allowing 4 quick goals. It was unbelievable how fast Vegas was able to score on him. Now, looking at this matchup tonight, I tell you guys, I am shaking my head. We got to look at some numbers. First, I just want to give a big shout out to everyone here. So happy to see you guys. Yeah, everyone stay safe with those fires out there. I'm so happy to be back. You're back in the States. Let's make some freaking money, you guys. Big shout out to each and every one of you. It's going to be a great day. Puck It with Joe is back. You are so right, Larry. So let's look over what we've got. Now, there are 5.5s and 6s out there floating around for this total. So depending on which way you like this total, definitely if you like the under, find that 6. And if you like the over, find that 5.5 and lay that little bit of juice. Looking at this one, I'm not going to touch that full game total. I really do think if the Florida Panthers have the ability to get the win, they need to keep this lower scoring. That said, I still think we go back to that well. In that first period, over 1.5. We have to see both of these teams fly out of the gate, especially the Florida Panthers. They are going to be trying to find a way to crack Adin Hill quickly. And I think cracking him quickly, getting 2 quick goals in that first period would be the way the Florida Panthers could win this. But we've seen the Vegas Golden Knights be able to come out and score 3 goals alone in that first period over the playoffs. So Vegas has the ability to rack up those goals, especially if Bobrovsky comes out shaky like he did in the last game. If he has some nerves there, I do think Vegas scores one of those goals. I'm confident in Florida coming out and scoring 1 in that first period as well. We've seen that first period go over the 1.5 in both of these games so far. And yes, in that one game, it was Vegas in the last one who scored both of those goals in that first game. We were competitive in the first and second period. It was the third period that the Florida Panthers let Vegas get in under their skin. And like I said, for the Florida Panthers to be able to come out, pull off this win on home ice, discipline is absolutely key. So can Matthew Tkachuk stay disciplined? Because he leads this team. They follow his lead. If Matthew Tkachuk is dealt all of these penalties in this game, Vegas will absolutely get the sweep. Now, looking at the last time we saw a sweep, and yes, this is game 3, so I'm looking ahead at game 4 as well. But the last time we saw that sweep was the Red Wings. They got the sweep back in 98, and that was versus the Washington Capitals. So 98 is 2023. You guys, you can do the math. That was a long freaking time ago, over 20 years ago on that. So a sweep in the playoffs, in the Stanley Cup Finals, very, very hard to come by. And we saw the Florida Panthers get the sweep over the Carolina Hurricanes, number 2 seed. We know this team has the talent. They have the ability to beat Vegas. They have the ability on their home ice as well. We look at both of these teams. They've only matched up before the playoff series like 12 times. That home ice has been absolutely the key factor. The home ice has ruled for these teams. So something to consider there. I do think the Florida Panthers backs are against the wall tonight. If they don't win it tonight, they're done. I won't be taking a side in the next game if they don't win it tonight. So I am going to sprinkle a little bit on the Florida Panthers. I think at -120 here on the money line, it is a solid way to go. We are going to look at some shots for sure in this one, Joe. So just bear with me today. But Florida needs to just stay disciplined. So the other key is Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky has to absolutely come out and just stand so tall in the net. He has to play like the Bobrovsky we've seen in this playoffs, not the Bobrovsky that got benched towards the end of the season. So Lyon came in. He wasn't able to do a solid job in the last game, but he only allowed 3 goals, and Bobrovsky had allowed those 4. So it's not on Lyon here. It is on Bobrovsky. I think it was a wake-up call for him to be pulled off that ice. His number tonight for save shots on goal is 28.5. Now, this is a whole point lower than what we saw in the last game. He was at 29.5. The over is -106. If the Florida Panthers play a disciplined game, even with how their defense is going, I do expect those shots to come raining in on Bobrovsky. The Vegas Golden Knights, you got to remember, they want to get the sweep. They want to finish this off. They know the last time a team was swept in the Stanley Cup Finals was 98. So kind of history making here. If they can get the sweep, they had 31 shots on goal in that last game. So I'm expecting more shots out of them here. We know the Florida Panthers defense is allowing those shots to come in. So I am looking at Bobrovsky. A lot of people saying, why are you taking these goalie props again? Well, you guys, because I do believe in Bobrovsky. I believe in his ability to go over this number for us. And I also believe, even if the Vegas Golden Knights come out and get the win, that we will see enough shots on Bobrovsky here. He can't play worse than he did in the last game. His head has to be solid on him. Home ice, home crowd. I do feel that Bobrovsky will go over that 28.5. Now, looking at Adin Hill, his number is high. His number is 30.5. So I'm not going to touch it. -124 to the over. Only 28 shots on goal for the Florida Panthers in the last game. So that is a little worrisome. You just don't know how many shots the Florida Panthers are going to get if they'll get over that number. Now, we've seen them have lower shots and still get those high danger shots and find a way to get it in. Adin Hill's a different story. He's very hard to score on. He is looking so incredible in these playoff series. So I'm going to stay off his number. I don't want to take it to the under, because we know Adin Hill can save over this. It all depends on what the Florida Panthers do for getting those shots. So I'm going to stay off of that, you guys. But like Larry's saying, that first period over 1.5 goals, I do think is the right way to go with this one. I'm interested in seeing your Vegas plus 0.5 in the first and second period. I think that is a solid way to go. I think that first and second period, we see a really tight battle here between those teams. So Larry, I definitely don't hate that. Nice way to go. But looking at what else I'm liking here on the ice, you guys know I'm leaning on Florida. Backs against the wall to be able to get the win. I like Bobrovsky for his save shots over the 28.5. That just seems too low. We know Vegas is going to come firing. I like the first period over 1.5. The both teams to score, I'm going to stay off of, because they could see a storyline where either one of these teams gets 2 goals or they both score a goal. So I'm staying off of that, but I do think we see the quick answer back in this one. Some props I'm liking in this one. I got to take Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal. If he can stay out of the box, which we know how many penalties he had in the last game. He still had, in the last game, 4 shots on goal with a million penalties. Yes, he wasn't able to find the back of the net, but I am looking for him to come out and play a much smarter game. So Matthew Tkachuk for the anytime goal coming in at plus 135. And then I'm looking at the over 3.5 shots on goal. Last time in the penalty box, more time on the ice. He had 4 last time with a million freaking penalties out there. Is coming in at minus 118 to the over 3.5 shots on goal. So I do like that out of him. Now, Barkov, another player to look at for his points. I do think Barkov will come out really strong for the Florida Panthers. But Montour, going back to the well with Montour, we took his over on his shots on goal last time. That one did cash. Taking him over 3.5 shots on goal is plus 135 tonight. And I'm shaking my head. What am I missing here? He had 5 shots on goal in the last game. And I know he's a defensive player, but he's an impactful defensive player. We saw what an impact he made in the Boston Bruins series, in the Toronto Maple Leafs series, and he kind of cooled off in the Carolina Hurricanes series. But we did see 8 shots out of him in that first game. We need Montour to get back to that level. So taking him over 3.5 shots at plus 135, I think is a really solid way to go. Looking at him for the point tonight is minus 148. So 2 juice there. I'd rather take those shots on goal. And then I would also look at him. If you believe he can get an assist tonight, or if you can believe he can get a goal, overtaking him for the point. So whichever one you prefer. I prefer the assist tonight. I do think he will find an assist, and that's how he will get that point. So I'm liking it there. Looking at the Vegas Golden Knights, let's just pull up some player props here. Jack Eichel, I'm a little scared to take Jack Eichel tonight because I really don't know how strong he's going to come out in this game after that huge hit from Matthew Tkachuk. And we can debate that hit if you thought it was clean or if you thought it was dirty. I thought it was a clean hit by Matthew Tkachuk. So you guys, let me know what you thought on that hit. I thought it was clean. Looking at Jack Eichel, he's got to keep his head up on the ice. And I think if it was anyone other than Jack Eichel, I don't think we would have seen such a big penalty on Matthew Tkachuk. Jack Eichel coming off that neck surgery, he definitely cannot take hits like that. He was an open ice. Heads up, boys, on that ice. That's hockey. You definitely have to make sure you're keeping your head up. I can see where everyone thinks it's a dirty hit too, though. So I think it's clean. I see everyone's point for dirty, but let me know. Marchat's, yeah, you've got to look at his anytime goal. He's been absolute fire. He's moved up to the number 1 goal scorer on this team at the moment. He's just been absolutely dominating out there on the ice. I love him for that anytime goal tonight. I was just going to look at his points as well there. Looking at his points tonight, I do think, hang on just 1 second. His points are minus 142 for him to record a point tonight. So the book's thinking he's going to come out really strong as well. Chandler Stevenson for the point. Interesting way to look as well. Minus 111. You guys know, as soon as I see a minus 111, I love those numbers coming out. Now, Mark Stone, he is juiced to at minus 144. Shea Theodore, plus 132 you're getting on him. If you think any of these players can get 2+ points, Marchand coming out here at plus 340 for 2+ points, Larry. Lessman, I'm glad you agree with me. That was a clean hit. I really did think it was a clean hit. I watched 100 ways. Jack, yeah, I think Eichel really did make it look worse. I am so glad you guys are on the same page as me. I felt so bad for Jack Eichel. He definitely doesn't need to get hits like that, but keep your head up. And the way he leaned in, I think he did himself a disservice. So I hope he's okay. But again, I'm avoiding his points tonight. I'm avoiding him for the anytime goal. I just don't know how much that really rattled him. So I'd look at Mark Stone. I do think between Marchand and Mark Stone, we have some good players to look at here. I was just looking for Mark Stone's numbers for the assists tonight because I could see that coming in for him. Mark Stone's assist is plus 140 for an anytime assist. So that is where I am looking, you guys. It's going to be absolutely fire on the ice. I've been having an internal struggle all day if I go to the Calgary Stampeders game versus the BC Lions opening day tonight, or if I stay home, be able to watch this game, which I will be dying at the game if I don't watch this game. And then watch the Stampeders game on the secondary TV. So that is what I'm going to do. How can I miss game 3 of the Stanley Cup Finals? I love Canadian football, but NHL is where my heart is at, you guys. You absolutely know that. It's going to be a fantastic night on the ice, but I will be back. Pocket with Joe is back. Make sure you go over and give Sports Grid TV a follow on all social media so you don't miss out on any of the incredible content. We've been going live on a Sports Grid's TV's Instagram. We're also live on Twitch, so many different places. And you guys know you can join me for in-game live all of the time. I'll be on in-game live tonight with Gabe Morency at 5:20 Eastern tonight. I'll also be on live on Twitter Spaces. No, 7:20 tonight with Gabe Morency. I was converting it to my time, and 6 p.m. Eastern on Twitter Spaces. And last month, I absolutely do CFL. Go check out on my Twitter page and on Sports Grid's page my CFL video for tonight's game. I think it's going to go up, up, and away. So check that out. But like I said, follow Sports Grid TV for everything. Otherwise, you're going to be missing out. Lesman, I do like the Stamps tonight. I worry about that spread. 3.5 is a big number there for the Stamps, who don't have their leading wide receiver in Philpott and Cole Tucker. They're going to have to rely on him to have nice, solid arms, know this playbook, and Jake Mayer be able to get the ball to him. I just don't know if the connection is there for them to get the cover over the BC Lions. BC Lions has absolutely all of their weapons. Vernon Adams Jr., big arm, loaded weapons. This one is going up and over. That's my best bet in that game. But go check out the video as well. I'll have some more videos coming out on Sports Grid, so I can't stress enough. You guys, go follow me on Sports Grid TV for all of my content. You guys, you just took the over of 51. That number moved from 47 to 51 in the last couple of days when I first got my bet in. I can't go cheer the Stamps on. I love the Stamps. Are my team. I can't not watch hockey tonight, you guys. So that's where I'm at, Joe. Thank you for joining me back here on Pocket with Joe. Again, Pocket with Joe is presented by Sports Grid TV. So make sure you go over and give them a follow. You guys, I will be back. The next day, we have Saturday hockey. Join me on Saturday. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me here. Have a great day.